What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for joining us on this lovely Sunday evening. This is Miguel Antonio Barragan, aka Fight Fiend Migs, joined as always by my co-host Andrew. Don't get it twisted, Lapache, and this is the Mad Boxing Show, or Mad Boxing for short. Thank you once more for stopping by on this nice and toasty, as I would call it here in Las Vegas, Sunday evening with a little bit of a breeze, which quite frankly, it doesn't feel too nice. The breeze is nice under normal circumstances, but not here in Vegas. It's still fucking hot. So it basically just feels like an oven here. And we're barely reaching mid-March. So it's going to get a lot hotter from here, and it's going to linger as it tends to do if you guys are from Vegas or familiar at all with Las Vegas. But thank you for stopping by on this Sunday evening. And we got plenty to talk about. You know, there was some fights on yesterday, not major fights or not major news per se with last night's fights, but we did get some Golden Boy fights on DAZN for as much longer as Golden Boy is going to be on DAZN. Apparently, they don't have a long-term deal with them per se, but they do have fights here and there still scheduled with DAZN. And last night was one of them. Arnold Barboza Jr. Moving up to welterweight to take on Kenneth SIMS Jr. We're going to be talking about that one, of course. And another welterweight fight on the card with Jojo Diaz and Alexis Rocha. We're going to be talking about those because they made it pretty clear right off the bat. One of these guys might be a future Ryan Garcia opponent, so they made no quarrels about that, and they made it clear right off the bat. We're going to be talking about that. Also, yesterday during the broadcast, Oscar De La Hoya was interviewed by Chris Mannix, and boy, did he say some stuff about number one, Ryan Garcia, good stuff, of course, about Ryan, but in regards to Virgil Ortiz and his manager Rick Meridian, holy hell, did he lay down the gauntlet? As Andrew would say, he was drawing that sand in the line, line in the sand, and making his intentions very, very well known. We're going to talk about that. And other stuff. This one's kind of a weird one because this seems to be a bit of a reoccurring thing with Zuffa popping up with their Zuffa belts and the Ring magazine and all this other sanctioning body shit. It looks like the WBO and WBA might be on the same page and will decide to not sanction Ramirez versus Benavidez because why? WBC wanted to stick its fucking nose in it and toss in another trinket of a belt that probably doesn't really deserve to be there. But regardless, there's a chance that fight will not be sanctioned by those sanctioning bodies. We're going to be talking about that, of course, and a couple of other fight announcements, little many things here and there. So we're going to get crack-a-lackin' on that, of course. Now, and before we get started, once more, thank you, everybody. We now have 175 subscribers. We made it. We are officially, official. Like I mentioned before, we're light heavyweights, right? And our YouTube channel is a light heavyweight. So if I did have a like one of those like noisemakers, like right, we made it to 175 subscribers. So thank you guys. By all means, keep on subscribing, keep sharing our videos, and leaving comments because we love to hear from you guys. So appreciate it, everybody. All those 175 subscribers, we appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. And also, before we get to our topics, of course, as always, a word from our sponsor, Healthy Sol. Tallow-based products. Make sure to give them a try. If you happen to find anything you like on their website, it is the Healthy Sol or Health Y Sol. Make sure to use the code MADBoxing10 at checkout and get 10% off of your purchase. Or make sure to follow the affiliate link that's going to be in the description of this video and get that same 10% off of your purchase. Once more, Healthy Sol, tallow-based products, tallow-based soap in particular. I like lavender patchouli. That's my favorite scent. So give them a try and get 10% off your purchase because why not? Alrighty. So we're gonna talk about last night's fights. We're in a bit of a slight drought right now. Nothing major as far as fights coming up. However, at the end of this month here in town, we will have Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman at here in Vegas. I believe it's going to be MGM. It might be T-Mobile. I forget which exactly one, but it's most likely going to be T-Mobile. I come to think of it now that I'm trying to remember. But I will definitely make it down to that to see what I can get as far as like some sort of footage for you guys or some sort of coverage. I happen to, if you guys recall, I happen to have Tuesday, Wednesday off, so I'll be able to make it down to probably the grand arrivals if they do that, which most likely they will, and the media workouts. Or I guess it's the open workout, they call it, right? Because it's also open to the general public. I'm trying to make it down to that and see what information I can get for you guys. Just because walk around and see who I can find. But that's going to be at the end of this month. So really, right now, there's fights here, fights there, and last night was one of them. On the Zone, Golden Boy Promotions brought us Arnold Barboza versus Kenneth SIMS Jr. For some reason, I always say Kenneth Smith, but it's SIMS Jr. And it was a pretty fun fight. I mean, there was. Let's see how can I explain it. There was a little bit of a different Barboza that I got from this fight. He was coming into this fight as an underdog, and it could very well be just because his loss to Teofimo back in May of 2025, I believe it was. And I think maybe people just thought like he wasn't the guy that we thought right after the win with Catterall and after beating, who else did he beat? It was Catterall and somebody else. I forgot who they mentioned. But it was kind of Ramirez, Jose Ramirez as well. That loss to Teofimo kind of like stunted his progress, and I think a lot of people kind of started to just like, oh, he wasn't the guy that we thought he was going to be. And then he shows up and he puts on a great performance against Kenneth SIMS, and there was a little bit of a different version of him. It almost seemed like he had a little bit more of a sense of urgency. I kind of dig that. It seemed like he was willing to exchange more. He was moving around a lot more, but the way he was able to let his hands go. Now, I know Teofimo is another opponent, right? We're not talking about Kenneth SIMS here, but maybe being at 140 for as long as he was did him dirty. And Teofimo is a whole nother level. But there was a different Arnold Barboza that we saw, and at least I think so, enough to where the DAZN commentators made it pretty clear that he may be in line for a fight with Ryan Garcia. There's a possibility there, right? There was another fight on the card that had an opponent who might be another opponent waiting for Ryan. But before we get to that, of course, Arnold Barboza. Now, Andrew, let me go ahead and bring you in here, dude. We've seen Barboza fight before. We've seen him fight a few times. This was his debut at 147 pounds. He looked great. You can tell that he was willing to go to trade. He was a lot faster. It seemed like he was much faster than SIMS. And although the scorecards were pretty wide, the action in the ring was pretty close. Like it wasn't like he was completely smoking SIMS. SIMS was in it the whole time. But a win for Barboza at welterweight. Now, it's over Kenneth SIMS, right? So after seeing how he performed last night, I kind of want to bring in the other fight here, but maybe not yet. Let me not yet, because he was in the ring afterwards being interviewed, and Alexis Rocha was there, who was in the one of the fights on the undercard. Before we get to that one, of course, how do you think Barboza would fit into the welterweight divisions, specifically against Ryan Garcia, right? Because that seems to be the easy fight that we can make. Seeing what we've seen from Barboza, how does he hold up against somebody like Ryan?
It really depends on if he can take a punch. And unfortunately, last night against SIMS, that question was not answered, right? SIMS coming in with, I believe, only 8 knockouts in his career. Is not going to show us if he can take on Ryan. Now, we seen against Lopez, he was lacking in skill, right? Couldn't keep up with the boxing IQ of Lopez. So he failed in the boxing IQ one. Not saying that Lopez and Ryan are the same fighter, but probably the same IQ level, right? They play chess, not checkers, right? So in that sense, he couldn't keep up. And then last night, they obviously take a puncher with not that great of a power, something that Ryan possesses at welterweight. So I'm going to say he probably doesn't fare well, and I'm not looking forward to a fight with Ryan and Barboza. I think he's shooting a little too high there. Now, we should all shoot for the stars, right? That's not a bad thing that he called him out. I just don't think that's something in the foreseeable future for either fighter at this point. We got to keep in our minds that it was Kenneth SIMS that Barboza beat last night. And it wasn't. Look, I'll be honest with you guys. I fell asleep round 3. All right, hey, don't blame my family. Tried, Miguel. They tried waking my ass up. I'm sorry, Arnold. I was out. I said because I wasn't going to talk too much about the fight, but I do fall asleep. when I watched the highlights, a lot of boxing going on. I almost fell asleep again. This was 5 minutes ago. No, I'm just kidding.
This is right before we went on air. No.
But no, there was a lot of boxing going on. That's not going to be there when you fight Ryan, right? Ryan's flashy. Ryan brings that speed. He brings that power. There won't be a lot of waiting around, I guess, when Ryan throws. When he hits, he hurts, and he comes fast. So I don't think Barboza has the right style for Garcia. You don't want to stay on the outside. He's not quick enough. And, listen, this is coming from me who had what fight did I just call with Ryan was totally wrong? It
was it Barrios? Was the most recent one with Barrios?
The Barrios, yeah. So, hey, listen, Ryan has proven me wrong, right? Not that I hit him out 100%, but looking at Barboza's style and his speed, he does not seem to be able to keep up with Ryan Garcia. He would have to get on the inside and really use his strength and power. But that left hook can hit you from the outside and it can hit you from the inside. So.
Mm-hmm. On that same card, this is when I kind of want to bring it in. We had Alexis Rocha versus Jojo Diaz. Now, this is again at welterweight. I don't know. I mean, Jojo Diaz is basically becoming the Tevin Farmer at this point. Basically, just throw him in as an opponent. He held the belt at one time, I think the IBF at 130 or something like that. Tried his luck at 135, 140. Now he's fighting 147. He's obviously too small for the weight class. I'm not sure what's going on with him to just balloon up like that. I mean, it didn't look like he was out of shape. I mean, maybe looking not as tight as his body normally looks, but he was throwing the whole time. He was able to take Alexis Rocha's punch the whole time, and he was in it, basically. There was no point where he ever really put Rocha in danger, and really, it didn't look like Rocha respected his power at all. So this was kind of a comeback for Rocha because Rocha was supposed to have a rematch against somebody else in the previous Golden Boy card. But they kind of made it seem like with this win over Jojo, maybe even Alexis Rocha himself will be in line for a potential fight against Ryan. They kind of made it seem as though Ryan is obviously trying to get the bigger fight, right? He's trying to get the Devin and maybe even Rolly, those kind of unification fights, right? But in the event that he doesn't get any one of those, the DAZN announcers kind of made it seem as though one of these guys is going to win that lottery, and either it's Barboza or Rocha with Rocha's win last night. After the fight, Barboza was in the ring being interviewed, right? And they mentioned it, and he says, "Yeah, I want these guys. I want Ryan. I want Devin. All these guys, right?" And then in the ring with him there after was also Rocha, right? Rocha's it had already been his fight had already ended. Of course, it was a couple of fights earlier. And he was like, all due respect, man, yeah, let's do it, right? And I kind of got the impression that Barboza kind of didn't want that fight, right? It's almost like he's looking forward, saying all right, boom, I got Devin or I got Ryan in my sight. I don't have fucking Rocha in my sight. Fuck that fool, that dude's out of my, not even on my radar. And it almost like they forced it. There was a couple of times where I think I want to say even Chris Mannix said, I would love for these two guys to fight, Rocha and Barboza, and then the winner of those could potentially earn the shot at Ryan. But it was obvious that one of these two guys might get the call in the event that Ryan doesn't get the big fight. So I asked you the question about Barboza. How about Rocha? What kind of chances does Rocha have against somebody like Ryan?
Well, look, once again, Golden Boy didn't really do a good job of putting them in with an opponent that would convince me that they were in the league with Ryan Garcia. I think we were both shocked when we heard Rocha was fighting Diaz. Diaz just being a smaller fighter, moving up to take him on. You could clearly see the size disadvantage last night in the ring. Rocha was he was bullying him in the beginning. I totally thought that a stoppage was coming. That's kind of a knock on Rocha that it didn't. Seriously, there's no way Diaz stands up to Ryan Garcia for 12 rounds. He just wouldn't. He takes way too many punches. Ryan's eventually going to hurt him with the left hook, right hand. Now, I guess you can say too, left combo, and it's going to be over for Diaz. He is too small for the welterweight division. I don't understand why that fight was made. another thing that was bullshit was to ever try to sell us that Diaz would get a shot at Ryan if he was to win. Diaz since 2020, Miguel, has had 12 fights, 3 wins, 8 losses, and 1 draw. This guy is way past his prime. Diaz is done. I think what they're doing right now, look, I got no evidence, but it just looks like they're filling up a contract. They're just paying him for a contract that they need to finish. You know what I mean? They probably said, hey, look, we only got so many fights. If you want to go up, we'll give you such and such to fight Rocha. And Diaz, when you look at his current record, I mean, out of the last, 6 fights, he's 1-5. Okay, so this is a guy who's, I think, ready to walk away. He's probably just accepting checks right now, unfortunately. Last night, even though Diaz at the end did not make it seem like he was just there to accept the check, as he was praying that he was getting that decision and almost got it. In his mind, he thought he got it.
Right.
But no, I mean, clearly his record is telling us something else. And then the jumping up in weight to fight Rocha. Prograis, that was at 140, correct? Regis Prograis?
Yeah, so I want to say it was at 140. Yeah, I'm almost certain, because I don't think he spent too much time at 140, but we might have to double check, but I thought it was 140. Yeah, I think.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so it was a weird fight, and no, I did not walk away thinking Rocha is ready for the top 2 or top 5 of the division. Rocha has really been a fighter that has just been at there at the right time at Golden Boy. Golden Boy is a little down on main event stars right now, and Rocha just fills that bill when they need a fight in a hometown kind of scenario, just seems he's a little I'm a little surprised how many main event co-main events the young man has already received through Golden Boy without getting him a big fight.
Yeah, I think he gets close, because I'm looking at it and I remember in here he was coming up. They put him up against Giovanni Santillan, and it didn't go well for him. He lost that one. It was a fucking brawl, right? Yes. And then Santillan goes on to fucking get smoked by Brian Norman Jr. afterwards. But it's like he's right there at the cusp, and then he fucking loses. He gets a few more. Then he has, this is the rematch that I was going to tell you about some time ago when Dana White was talking about, I paid this guy X amount, for his walk out to the ring. Then Oscar, on that card, it was supposed to have been Rocha against Raul Curiel. They were supposed to have a rematch because their first fight was a draw. So it's like Rocha's right there, and then he gets that fucking draw, right? And then put him against JoJo, which off that fucking at the end, I don't know if the announcer got the fucking city wrong or what the hell, but when you see JoJo drop to his knees thank Lord, raising a story, and then he's like, what? And then he kind of gets a little confused, I don't know. I'm not sure how he legitimately thought that he was after hearing the scorecards, which were pretty wide, that he thought they were in his favor. Kind of crazy that actually happened. I'm not sure if it was the announcer that got it wrong or maybe him hearing something differently. But when you were talking about JoJo kind of, or at least Oscar and Golden Boy trying to work him through his contract, you sent me this tweet here as actually like a screenshot of Dan Rayfield and all the fighter pay, right? Their purses, and JoJo got $50K last night, guaranteed. That's a rough. I mean, $50K is awesome. Don't get me wrong, for us, normal folks, but that's a hard way to make $50K taking the punches that he took yesterday against Rocha. I agree that what you said about Alexis. His corner were kind of almost scolding him a little bit, saying yo, don't fucking fall asleep, man. Go out there and fucking get it on, throw with this guy. I kind of got the impression that his corner thought he could have finished JoJo, and for whatever reason he couldn't. And whether it's because he was just maybe taking the foot off the gas pedal a little bit, or he just didn't have the fucking pop to take out a much smaller guy like Jojo Diaz. But it didn't, like you said, it didn't really convince us that he would be ready for something like that. But mind you, this is more of a second option, right? It's not like these guys, either one of these guys, both Barboza and Jojo Diaz, are gonna get a crack at Ryan because they necessarily deserve it per se. The way they made it seem is if Ryan can't get the big fight, then it's going to have to fall on one of these dudes. But in either case, it didn't look like either one of these guys is going to be able to hang in there. I think Barboza would be able to hang there better, at least, than Rocha. And Rocha just seems like a tad bit slower. Barboza seems to be more the athletic guy. And I mean, not as athletic as Teofimo, as you guys saw that. But regardless, I think he was the more athletic person. And that alone, I think, will give him a much better chance against somebody like Ryan. But man, I felt for Diaz. Every time I see him, even whenever like my dad sees him, he's like, "What, this fucker's still fighting?" I'm like, yeah, Dad, he's still going in there. If nothing else, as an opponent. But I don't think Golden Boy did Alexis Rocha, or quite frankly, even Barboza, any favors by putting them in against those guys. They're trying to sell it on us, right? I mean, they're trying to sell it as these guys could be potential opponents. Again, they're plan Bs, right? These are the plan Bs. It's Ryan wants to get the bigger fights, and in the event that he can't, it's going to be one of these guys. I don't know which one of the announcers said it, but one of the announcers said, "Hey, have these guys fight, and then have the winner fight, fight Ryan, or earn the right to fight Ryan." So if we match up Barboza and Rocha, in your opinion, Andrew, who do you think has the best chance? Who do you think is going to come out of that one to the victor, Barboza or Rocha?
I would definitely take Barboza in that fight. Barboza is probably one of those guys that look extremely good when they're put up against B-rated fighters because of his boxing skills, And I think Rocha fits that bill where Barboza would look like a star again because he's outboxing him. You know what I'm saying? But it's the opponent. It's not anything, not that much else but the opponent, and Oscar does a great job of that's how he builds these guys up, you know what I'm saying? And but I just feel like Rocha and Barboza too, but Barboza had his shot with Lopez. He went the distance. He didn't get totally embarrassed, but he was outclassed. Where Rocha, on his one shot, it looks like he was stopped in 6 rounds. That's totally blown out. You know what I mean? So, I see Barboza being a clear-cut favorite in that fight. Yeah.
And what's kind of funny? We kind of sort of have come full circle here. There was a time where Barboza was like on the undercard of, who was it? It might have been it was a Ryan fight. I remember. I just don't know if it wasn't that New York card. It was something else. And we were kind of talking about it, and there was a possibility that maybe, like, at this point we've seen the fuckery on Ryan Garcia's side, where like he's kind of acts up like the way he acts during press conferences and stuff like that. And there was a possibility that either, and I'm trying to remember if it was Ryan himself or his opponent, wasn't going to make it. And on the undercard was Barboza, and we fucking called it. Like it didn't happen that way, but it was funny because when Barboza was interviewed, and I'm trying to remember which, it was during the press conference, and they brought him up to the podium to talk, right? And we talked about it on the show, and you were like, "Well, I think we found the backup, like in case one of these guys pulls out, right?" It's kind of funny that we're kind of back here again. Now it looks like Barboza is gonna be the backup, or possibly in the event that Ryan can't get one of the major fights that he wants. Now, I'll go ahead.
To be honest, the best opponent I think for Barboza, because of his style, would be that Ryan takes on Devin Haney in a rematch. If I'm De La Hoya, I go after Rolly Romero really hard, because Rolly, while he has a lot of power, that fight with Ryan was pretty fucking boring, dude. There was a lot of, I guess you would say, chess being played in there, even though Rolly's not the highest IQ chess player, right? He's just kind of a lazy guy who relies on his power to be the equalizer. Barboza might be able to outbox Rolly if he can take the punch. Now, granted, I don't know why they had an opponent with only 8 knockouts in the ring last night. You would think they want to showcase him with something a little bit harder so it would come out better for him, right? You know what I mean? Instead of us immediately pointing to, the guy has 3 losses and 8 knockouts. Right? It's a fight. But if I'm Oscar and you're trying to make Barboza a champion, I think the best route for him, without it being the Crocker kid from I believe the UK, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It would be a Rolly Romero, just because of Romero's style.
The win yesterday got Barboza a WBO belt. It's WBO Global whatever the fuck that
Fuck
means.
that belt.
Yeah, right. But the fact that it's WBO kind of leads me to believe, oh shit, he might have an easier path to Devin, because Devin is the WBO champ, at least ranking wise, at least like that wise, not necessarily promotional wise, because I'm not even sure who the fuck Devin is at
Can I
this
ask
point.
a question?
Yeah.
You might not even know the answer to this, but maybe someone out there will.
I'll pretend like I do.
Okay, these fake belts, this WBO world belt, right? Let's call it the world belt or whatever it was called. You just said global. Excuse me, because I was like, it's called the WBO.
Yeah.
Do they have their own ranking system? So is there a number one contender for the WBO global belt? Because hey, that makes Zuffa's life a lot harder. That makes everybody's life a lot harder to try to get into boxing if these sanctioning bodies, smaller titles, have a ranking system too. Because now you're taking 20 guys out of the, you got 20 guys potentially in slots that possibly won't sign with the lower company, and not it just being Zuffa, but any of those smaller companies that are trying to get started in boxing. So that's a funny one. Maybe they go off of the same top 10, maybe like a lower ranked guy just gets a shot at that title. But yeah, that'd be funny if they had 20 guys held up.
All right. That would be something. Like, all right, guys, if you get to the number one WBO global, then that means you're 15 worldwide. It's like, fuck, I still got 15 more guys to go through.
Yeah. And that makes sense too. I like that, how you just said that. That does sum it up. Not sum it up, but that makes a good argument that maybe it's 20 to 15, 30 to 15 that would fight for one of the smaller belts, and then 15 up. Yeah, now you're going for the world title. That's a good one, Miguel. Now you have a question for the sanctioning bodies if you ever see them, bro.
Right. And I forget who's in charge of the WBO, but let's go ahead and because I always remember Gilberto Mendoza for the WBA. That name for some reason just sticks to me, and I have no idea why that just glued to my brain. But that's another belt. But it's funny. I'm like, yeah, Cecil Peoples or not Cecil Peoples, something Peoples. I forgot some other. Larry Hazard with the IBF. I remember those guys. Random dudes, right? I'm like, all right, y'all in charge. What does this mean necessarily? What is this WBO? What is that? What does that put him number 22? Or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought about that because when you mentioned that maybe the better route for Barboza is to go to Rolly first. I mean, Rolly is the WBA champ, so I'm not sure how that'll work there. Again, I'm sure yesterday, by the way, was Barboza's debut at 147. So I don't know where he would land on everybody else's other sanctioning bodies rankings, but he got himself a WBO global belt, whatever that's good for with yesterday's victory. So I kind of feel for Rocha. I think he's going to be plan C. I think it's going to be plan C. If Ryan can't get, and whatever, maybe Barboza already has a fight coming up or whatever, it's like, fuck it. Or something's going on where he can't fight. Or they're going to be like, all right, Rocha, you got it? All right, cool. Now let's do it.
And not only that, Miguel, but you got to throw in the name that he called out at the very end was Keyshawn Davis. Right?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, and that's a name right there that Turkey might be interested in. That might go farther than just Golden Boy putting on a fight. I don't think Oscar would be hesitant to put on a fight with Turkey if they were to reach out and go, hey, that Keyshawn thing is something interesting, because it is. Keyshawn coming into the welterweights and taking on a Barboza at, what is Barboza, like 33-1? 32-1. 32-1. That's a decent record. You know what I mean? For Keyshawn, because he hasn't had that much time at the junior welterweight either, correct? He had only one fight there, and then he'd be moving right up to 147. Not a bad opponent. I know I just said his IQ isn't the same, so I see Keyshawn winning that fight easily if the weight doesn't slow him down, right? So, decent fight.
It's funny that you brought his name up because, I mean, in this case, because Barboza did call him out. But have you seen those clips of Keyshawn and I think it was Ryan, right? They were in each other's faces. I don't know if you've seen those clips kind of circling
at the club or something like that.
Yeah, that shit. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that Golden Boy as a whole, Golden Boy Promotions, for any one of their welterweights has Keyshawn on the radar, right? For either one of these guys. So it seems almost like a nice route for Keyshawn to come in, beat somebody like Barboza, and be like, oh, boom, now I can get straight to Ryan in this case,
Yep.
with working with Oscar and Golden Boy and whatnot. But anyway, but I thought about that just now. I was like, oh shit, it seems, yeah, he did call out fucking Davis and Keyshawn, I mean, in particular. But it's funny that now Keyshawn's kind of has this weird confrontation with with Ryan on the club. What the fuck? Like, I mean, I guess they're young. I mean, I was gonna say like these guys still clubbing, but no, they're still young, right? So obviously they should still be clubbing. It's kind of the thing.
I don't know if Ryan is supposed to be in that club, but I'm not one to throw the
Right.
first stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll all be judged one day.
Right.
Maybe he's in there spreading the gospel. He wasn't in there drinking and dancing, Miguel. He was trying to pull those kids away from that evil music. I'm just fucking with you, Ryan.
That's a good point. I'm sure he came up with one of those picket signs that says,
Yes.
yeah, you're gonna what is it? What's that word? It starts with a P, like repent.
Repent.
Thank you, repent.
Yes.
Yeah. Like repent. Gonna bring it out. I knew there was a P in there somewhere. But going in there to spread the word, right?
That's right.
To all these sinners drinking at the VIP booth over here. Like, can I get in the velvet rope, please? So I can spread the word.
They weren't acting intoxicated at all, as they said, hey, let's do a face-off right here.
Yeah.
Now, hey, give Davis looked like he didn't want to do it at first, and then he just played the game. But at first he was like, come on, man. Like, you kind of see his body language looks like he's telling Ryan no, but then obviously goes in for it. Yeah, if I was Ryan, I know Ryan, hey, at least the young man wants to take on everyone. You know what I mean? But watch what you wish for.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sometimes not to his benefit.
Yeah,
going after some of those guys that he probably shouldn't. Because I mean, man, adding Keyshawn's name to 147 is something else. That puts a lot more. I mean, we talk about how these weight classes kind of go through the cycles where it's like stacked at some point, where sometimes it's lame. It was just lame. It's going to start to get stacked if it hasn't already. It's going to get there very, very soon with some of these names being added to it. All right. Anything else you want to add to this, or at least wrapping up last night's fights before we move on to the next topic, which also has to do with Oscar De La Hoya?
No, we're good.
All righty. So if you guys did catch the broadcast yesterday on DAZN, Oscar was interviewed by Chris Mannix, and Mannix asked him a couple of questions, asking him, about Ryan, and it was very. There wasn't too much more information that Oscar provided. It was really more of a typical promoter type of thing. Like, it's going to be a great fight. It's one of those cookie cutter kind of Floyd Mayweather's like he's a hell of a fighter. One of those kind of things, right? He already has it already planned. When he was asked about Virgil and where they are specifically, it looks like this thing is going to get dragged out. He did say one thing in particular, though, that he would never work with Rick Meridian ever again. We kind of got that impression already, right? It seemed like they were going in that direction anyway. It wasn't like it was anything new per se, but he finally proclaimed that he again, to steal your verbiage, Andrew, he drew that line in the sand and said, fuck this is it, no more with this guy. Although I did later on find a post on Facebook that mentioned that Rick Meridian had 6 other fighters with a contracts with Golden Boy, so he's going to have to work with them to some degree. Maybe Rick kind of like he fucked around and found out. Maybe he's not going to be doing the same shit with those other 6 fighters that he was doing with Virgil. Mind you, Virgil was his big moneymaker, or is his big moneymaker right now. So clearly he was going to stick his nose in there. But that being said, is that new news? I mean, we kind of already knew that the direction was going, right? At this point, the way Mannix made it seem, and what he was trying to kind of get out of Oscar is if his relationship with Virgil was salvageable to any degree, if it's still reparable, if they can still get things worked out and ironed out to where they can continue to proceed. And I don't remember Oscar giving like a real straight answer. Is it, or have we reached the point of no return? Like, at this point, are we not going to get any, or if there's no mending of the fences between these guys, obviously not Meridian, but Virgil and Oscar? Are we at the point where we can never repair this relationship?
As it seems right now, yes, I think we had said that. But
Mm.
what we were wrong on was the reason why. We were saying it was the posting of the video of the dad, which
Mhm.
we need to talk about Schofield's father here later on with
Oh.
the Devin Haney one. So
Mm.
let's go ahead and add that to the list because that was a bad one.
Mm.
Um, Look, they're saying that Oscar had only offered 3 to 4.5 million total
Mhm.
for the fight with Boots, right?
Mhm.
And did you see what Meridian put on his Instagram was that they were offered 10 to 20 million. We all know where that money's coming from. You
Right.
know, he should have just said, but Turkey offered us, right? Because Miguel, I think there is a overspending issue going on in boxing right now, and that's how Turkey's trying to buy all these guys out. Now, will this plan work when he does get that power? Possibly, because it looks like everyone's ready to turn on the promoter, whoever they're with, and sign with this man. And I can't argue when you're only getting four. Let's raise it to 5 million because it was like 4.7. I don't know if you caught the
Mm.
number that Meridian had put out there, but when that's the number you're getting offered as a guaranteed, this is guaranteed. This is not after so many pay-per-views are sold and all that, live gate and all that comes in. This is guaranteed money. But the other company's offering you anywhere between 10 to 20 million, you're out. You're out. And there's no way Oscar's in because Miguel, that's a dumb price to be paying. Now, you've heard us. Look, you guys, we've been talking about fighters' pay for a while now, right? Just last week, we were talking about Better Beef and Bivol making 20 million each, right?
Mhm.
The week before that, we're talking about Conor Benn making 15 million for one fight, correct? Before that, we're talking about Devin Haney making 15 million per fight on the undercard of a fight. He wasn't even the main event.
Right.
Miguel, when would we ever talk like this? Where multiple divisions had guys that are making 15 million, $20 million fights. Canelo Alvarez, is the face. That's not a surprise. Terrence Crawford is a face. That's not a surprise. Devin Haney blows me out the water every time I hear that he made 16 million on an undercard. Conor Benn blows me out the water when I'm hearing he's not even a champ and made 15 million for one fight. Now we don't know if it's against pro grade now because it's another promoter and we'll talk about that one. But whenever he does fight for Zuffa for this one fight, it's going to be 15 million guaranteed. When did we ever talk about like this? So obviously, I think that's what Turkey's out here doing. He's buying out guys 2 times, 3 times more than what a promoter's offering, and he's winning them over. But is that sustainable if these guys don't turn around a profit for you?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say a big fat fucking no. I'm going to say
No.
a lot of these guys are going to get rich, right? But that does not mean that Turkey's plan is successful at the end because he's putting money in the pot right now, Miguel, that's just not there. It really isn't. We've seen how many of these fights have went negative. They've been in the red, right? We don't have to go through them. We cover this shit week in, week out. There hasn't been too many times me and you sat in this chair and was like, man, they knocked it out the park with that one, right? The fucking New York card, all the cards in LA, the things that they gave away. There's really been nothing that have gotten these guys a viral situation yet where they're like turkeys taking over boxing. I mean, you can give them Canelo versus Crawford. I think Crawford's retirement the next day made more noise. I'm sorry. I think Crawford denying the $300,000 going to the WBC made more noise than the fight. Unfortunately. So
Yeah.
he's overpaying, dude. We have a major,
and by a lot too. Like,
yes.
when me and my buddy, my homeboy Martin, I used to work with, he sent me the post from Rick Meridian, and he says that they're offered 3 million or something, or and then it says and then 1.5 the second fight. I guess whatever fight came after that if they made it with Boots, but 3 mil, it sounds pretty fucking reasonable. That doesn't sound like, yeah, it's not the fucking 20, but it's not like Turkey's coming in and saying like, oh, they're giving you 4, I'll give you 5. It's not like just barely. It's like, yeah, I'll give you 10. It's like, oh shit. Well, no wonder, right? I mean, if that's not gonna put him in the red quicker than anything, I don't know what the fuck is. At this point, and look, this has happened. It's kind of crazy that we're here again, but this has happened in MMA as well. Back in the day, in the 2008, 2009, the T-shirt company Affliction, they had some problems with the UFC because of a fighter they were sponsoring that they were like, no, Randy Couture in particular. So they said, fuck it, we're gonna go out and make our own fucking MMA fights, and they put on some MMA fights. And I got to be honest, I fell for the T-shirt shit. I had the fucking aluminum foil shirts. I was rocking them shits because I thought they were so tight. And they paid guys like Vitor Belfort like $800K, which is a lot than he's ever fucking been paid, before. Right. And they were just racking these fucking getting guys to just come in. They put on 3 events and poof. Actually, they didn't even put on 3 events because the last one fell through and it was only 2. But my point is that he's doing this. Turkey is doing this where he's not just overpaying slightly. He's overpaying a lot. That there's no way they're going to make that fucking money up. How in the hell is that going to be sustainable? I can't imagine. And the shitty part is if we're getting to the point where their fighters are being overpaid so much that they're trying to get their promoters out, trying to make their promoters irrelevant. What happens once Turkey pulls out? Like that's going to leave. I suspect that's going to leave the sport kind of in a fucked up situation. You know what I'm saying? Like if overall the promoters are still going to be there, of course, right? Because they're not going to go anywhere. But it's like they're going to be kind of in a bit of a weak state because a lot of their fighters are being bought over here, right? I don't know if those good fighters are going to want to get paid what they, any less. They're going to take a cut after that. I guess I'm concerned that where the sport will be if I should say Turkey decides to pull out. Go ahead.
It's going to be PBC all over again, where guys aren't fighting because they don't feel like they're getting the right amount of money to take on the fight, right?
And it's even PBC right now, sort of with the overpaying, no?
Or the Floyd Mayweather effect, right? Where everyone's going to be like, what? I just made 20 million. What do you mean you're only offering me 3? And they're going to be like, well, dude, Turkey and the Saudi money's gone now. Oh, I don't care. I ain't going back to that. That's what happened when PBC left, and a lot of these guys weren't signing these other fights because they didn't seem like they were getting the amount that they were making when they were fighting on Fox for $5 million. It's happening all over again to us. We had thought we had what did we say we needed to do? We needed to dry them out. We need to make them starve.
We need to starve them a little bit. Yeah,
we need to starve them a little. We thought Turkey came and made everyone fat again. What the fuck, man? Boxing has that little special effect, I guess. Darn it! We're gonna need an investor every 10 years.
Right. Yeah, it's like from the time that HBO left the fucking business in 2018, things were already downhill at that time. But even before then, yeah, like every so often, every 10 years or so, somebody's gonna have to come in and bring in and fatten up these fighters, as opposed, right? Because it's almost like COVID kind of sort of started, starving them a little bit, right? And then in comes Turkey to be like, yeah, sure, this is my project for 2030.
And let's not even forget Ryan Garcia is making $40 million a fight right now. So add his name to the list. And I know he drives tickets, right? But it's just if you add all the money that's being spent in boxing right now, it's either we had a major jump in fan participation, or someone's out there overpaying to try to take over a market. And while it's great for the guys that are in the market right now, I don't know what it is for the sport on the long long run. Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy that that's what my primary concern is, because this has happened a few times in stuff that I love. Specifically professional wrestling, WWE, right? There was a time where they had 2 major organizations. It was WWF and WCW. And eventually, one of the fuck-ups of WCW at the time is that the guy who ran shit, Ted Turner, he merged with AOL Time Warner, and they fucked things over. And one of the casualties was WCW, pretty much what it was, right? So they were doing so well in the 90s that they were whooping the shit out of WWE. I can only imagine if WWE had gone over during that time and WCW still fucking, merged with AOL Time Warner and the shit still happened, the sport would have been really shitty. Same thing with the entertainment. Same thing with MMA. When the UFC was badass in the 2008, 2009, or actually a little bit before then, when Pride was around, right? Pride Fighting Championship in Japan. Pride went down because they were in cahoots with the fucking Yakuza over there. And as soon as that shit got crazy, the DirecTV everybody started pulling the shit, and they shit went down. I can imagine if they were so dominant that the UFC had to go belly up at that time. Let's just say they did, right? And Pride won the war. And then later on, we'd find out that they were being involved with the Yakuza, and then they still sunk anyway. It's like, where would the sport be with those two big giants out of the fucking thing? That's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's like they're Turkey's putting so much money into the sport that it's like, all right, everybody's getting nice and fat. But what if he realizes, holy shit, I'm overpaying these motherfuckers way too much. I can't do this anymore. Now it's like, oh, damn, now it's going to leave a nasty ass void that kind of is a repeat of PPC, I guess you can say.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, Oscar Meridian had put on his page about Oscar was suing him for $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
And that showed he was keeping hella money because he was only offering Ortiz a certain amount of that $10 million.
Mm.
But if he takes his own word and looks at the offer Turkey's giving him, where's that other millions coming from?
Yeah.
He was the one saying, oh, it must be worth 10 million if Oscar's suing me for 10. It must be worth 10. All right, well, Turkey's saying he's going to give your guy 20. That's a negative. And look, you guys, we're not stupid. We know some of these guys don't drive the market like that. They are not supposed to be making $15 million. Well, like what? Everyone in boxing's a fucking starting linebacker in the NFL now, or what? Like I never knew there was so much money in boxing. You know what I'm saying? I could have swore like 2 years ago we were getting like 60,000 views on pay-per-view. That does not translate to fucking 15 million. You know, was that me?
No. I get a little warm and sweaty.
Okay, sorry.
No,
all right. I thought you were like, hey, here.
No.
Fucking ringing. Thank you, babe. So, yeah, the pay-per-view numbers that we were seeing at the very end, the last 3 years of the sport, do not translate to the paydays that we're seeing today. I'm sorry. There's a lie happening here. I don't want it to be that way. I love walking around going, oh, hey, see what these guys are making? Yeah, our sport's ruling. But when you start breaking this stuff down, dude, this is not going to last. Something's going on. They're trying to take over. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're trying to buy this market, this class. What they're doing wrong, though, is they really got to bring the sanctioning bodies with them. It doesn't work unless you bring the whole thing with them. And maybe they're doing that. Maybe when you see them signing these guys the big contracts and keeping them, the Connor Benz and those fighters of the world that are going to be only really in undisputed fights, unification fights, maybe you'll see Turkey is working with the sanctioning bodies a lot more than maybe we're giving them credit for because of the little thing that Zuffa is having right now with them.
Yeah.
Maybe Turkey calls right after Dana has a fucking hissy fit. He's like, don't worry. Just let him be him. He's cooking for Zuffa. You leave him alone.
Yeah. Let the man cook. Well, this this legal battle that we're seeing between Oscar and Virgil is basically keeping the fight that we all want to see right now from happening. Virgil Ortiz Jr. and Boots Ennis, that they decided to kind of go back and forth with one another on social media. I'm going to read a couple of these tweets that I don't know if that's what we call them anymore, X tweets, whatever the fuck you want to call them. But I'm going to read one here from Boots first. He says, I did everything in my power to make this fight for the fans. I waited long enough and I stayed quiet through all of it, or through it all. It looks like Virgil or his team really didn't want to fight. I came to his fight in his hometown and told him he was next. That was November. It's March and still nothing. It's time to move on. 2-division champion up next. Oh shit, we know who that is, right? I mean, we can talk about that in a second. But he says, I told you all the truth is going to come out in the light. Virgil decides to respond to that. He says, since nobody is smart enough to know how to read between the lines and see, we actually tried to make this fight happen despite the ongoing legal issues. I'll spell it out for you and everybody else. A lot of y'all must have missed out on critical thinking time in school. So, according to Virgil, he's saying, yo, 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 I've been, even with all this legal shit going on, I've been trying to make this fight happen. There's only so much we can believe there, right?
That's a lie.
Boots, it's an, huh?
It's a lie. Come on.
Right, right. Boots, his response, or I guess his initial comment was, yo, I've told you your ass was next back in November. It ain't fucking shit happen. It's already March. Time to move on. And specifically, two division champion is next. All right. Well, who's the only two division champion in the weight class? Well, none other than Xander Zayas. All right. He's a unified champ, WBO and WBA, I believe it is. I could be wrong with belts, but I know one of them is there. I found this on what I found on Instagram or Facebook. Per Chris Mannix, Top Rank and Matchroom have started talks to stage a fight between Xander Zayas and Jaron Boots Ennis in the coming months on the Zone. All right, so now it looks like we're not going to get Boots and Ortiz. This by no means is a bad fight either. I'm down with this one too. Yes, we want to see Boots and Ortiz, but the unified champ is Zayas right now. He unified WBO, and I want to say it was a WB as well. But anyway, Boots saying, all right, cool. If I can't get Ortiz, who right now doesn't actually have a belt, but I can go after a guy who has two of them. Oh shit, I'm down with that one. It would help make me forget about the Ortiz fight. Quite frankly, it would, because it's like, oh shit, he's going after one of the other dudes in the weight class who's got the belts. That's kind of a big thing. How does that? What does that fight look to you? Like, how do you see that fight with Zayas and Boots?
Well, before I talk about that, I want to throw in there that I believe the guy that didn't insult the boxing fans on who tried to get what fight made. Virgil Ortiz, you cannot say that you made an honest effort in trying to get a fight made when the court system sided with De La Hoya and you went in and threw a appeal in there to go to arbitration anyways. Like, you did not want to get the fight made. The court sided that Oscar was doing a fair a fair fight, fair negotiating for you. You didn't want it. Eddie Hearn came out and said they had agreed. They had an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. That means Eddie was in. Boots was in. De La Hoya, Virgil, it's not looking good. You seen where I'm going here? If Eddie says they have an agreement, that means his side is in and the guy that he was negotiating with was in. Who the fuck does that leave out, Virgil? Hey, I'm not, I'm just trying to, I don't want to take Oscar's word, but, spit facts here.
What other conclusion can we come to?
Exactly.
From at least seeing it from the outside, what other conclusion can we come to?
You didn't hear Eddie Hearn go, oh, Oscar's been so hard to work with. I'm telling you, the guy's avoiding the fucking fight. He's protecting his fighter. You didn't hear him say that one time, Virgil. I'm sorry. It looks like you and your guy, Meridian. It looks like Meridian's jumping on the hand grenade that you threw. That's all that's happening here.
Mm. Damn. All right. Well, now that you throw that out there.
Right.
What
was the first question?
Well, I just that's not a bad fight by any stretch, right? I mean, it's a damn good consolation. It will, to some degree, kind of make us forget about Boots and Virgil, at least for the time being.
Yeah, no. And that's the luxury this division has always had. Look, if Fundura wasn't mixed in with Keith Thurman, that's a great replacement. Mm-hmm. None of those fights right now, Miguel, getting matched up was a bad fight. So, Virgil, you drop off, and I'm sorry, the ball always keeps rolling. And you know what's going to happen? The winner of Fundura the winner of Zayas versus Boots is hella going to be in the AC against you. Who the fuck are you now to those guys? Zayas might have 3 titles and Top Rank negotiating for him. Who are you? You better have Meridian go and pull off some shit, but Bob ain't fucking with it. Then you go and you look at the other side. You're going to let Boots come out of there and think that Boots is going to give you the same offer when he's done? The ball never stops rolling. Soon he'll figure that out.
Yeah, no kidding. And I guess that's one of the one of the not for us fans, but for the fighters, it's kind of one of the downsides of being in such a stacked weight class that if you are out of the picture, the shit keeps going. You know, the train keeps rolling right without your ass, and it still produces, you know, pretty dope ass fights. I who Man, that one's tough. I'm not sure if Xander is mature enough yet, at least up here, to have that fighter IQ yet to be able to handle somebody like Boots. I think Boots might actually take that one. I don't know. How do you see that fight going?
Now, I was gonna go with Zayas because of his pedigree, because of the people that are behind him. Top Rank usually gets these guys from the ground up correct. When they get them right out of the Olympics, right out of the, you know, signing them as young kids, they're usually never wrong. And I can only think of a few times they got it wrong, where Zayas does not look like that guy at all. Always growing, always seems to be getting better. He's got a whole country behind him. That would only magnify in this fight. He would, you know, the confidence level of him is going to go through the roof. It's a great fight. Let's do it. But yeah, I'm not, it's a hard fight. That's a toss up. It's a toss up fight. Cause look, Boots, I mean, love Boots to death, but his resume isn't fucking, you know, second to none. You know what I mean? So it's still a 50-50 fight. It's an awesome fight. They're both undefeated. They're both champs. Like, no, Virgil is very foolish to let that fight.
What's name isn't a champion? What's his name? Boots isn't a champion. Yeah.
His first fight, he didn't win something.
Oh, I mean, it was one of those global shits, but it wasn't like the legit one. It wasn't like a full on. Because
so what is he, like an intern?
Good question. One of those. I forgot. Okay. I don't even know which one. Right. But
yeah, basically, he won a title on his first one up. That's what it was.
Yeah, I think you're right. WBA interim. You're right. So he's got the WBA interim one. Because the actual these are the champs, right? Fundora, WBC, Xander, Unified, right? WBO, and let's see here. IBF is Josh Kelly. He just beat.
Yeah.
And then Xander Unified after beating that Barrow guy recently. So WBA and WBO is Xander. WBC is Fundora, and IBF is Josh Kelly. So yeah, as of right now, he doesn't have a legit belt. He's got an interim belt, the WBA interim belt. So I guess that's something.
Yeah, whatever. You know how I feel about that title. I actually thought it was the regular WBA, but whatever the case, he comes. What do you want me to say? Pound for pound ranking. He comes from, you know, number one being at welterweight. It's a great fight. However you dice it up, it's there's no drop off. Ortiz versus Boots, Zayas versus Boots. We're all tuning. All diehards will be tuning in to that fight. Ortiz is a damn fool for letting them get that fight before him. I'm telling you, the price is going to drop. The price is going to drop. Who could Ortiz then go and fight that would make it better than the winner of Zayas versus Boots, dude? I don't know if there's a guy on the market. It's not Spence. You know what I mean? It's not Zoo. It's not the Charlos.
Who are trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, I'm just throwing names. It's not Danny Garcia. It's not Keith Thurman. You know, and if Fundora was to win, I don't know if Fundora versus Ortiz would make him the A side versus the winner of Zayas. And the only reason why I say Zayas and Boots, because of the promotional companies they have behind them. I don't know if Top Rank's going to come heavy if their guy holds 3 titles. Oh no, I keep saying it. The WBA intern. Yeah. Does he win that title?
Well, he already has the belt. I don't get. I'm not sure.
Yeah, is that why this fight has to get made?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe
I guess so.
That's awesome. All right, I like that. Man, now he's the number one contender to Zayas. That's a good fight. And see, if they just held it with that title, Boots is the number one contender to Zayas' title. Why do we need the interim belt? That already sounds cool right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But no, I love the fight. Yeah, Ortiz should be nervous. I really hope him and Meridian have it right. Look, Meridian has some fantasy that they're gonna win something in arbitration. I don't know what. You know, maybe they only have to give them $1 million. Maybe that's a win for Meridian. They go make $19 million. You know, for the fight with Turkey. You know, What else could be the win? Because it sounds like the judge had already said Oscar had done a good job. It has to be the buyout.
Bummer. Well, that's not the consolation prize, right? In Boots and Xander's is not bad by any stretch. Hopefully that fight can be made. I think they're both in a position to be made. Top Rank is the kind of promotion that's going to work with others, and I don't see there being too many things, especially right now with Top Rank not actually having a network deal with any streaming service. I don't think that's going to get in the way of negotiation by any stretch. So hopefully that happens sooner than later, maybe by the summer, a little before the summer.
You mean,
we can get that
you mean Bob goes like this? Wait, let me look at the calendar.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we are open. Okay, we could do that fight.
Right.
No, Bob, you don't have a TV contract. Bob.
Yeah, we kind of have to do this, Bob. We kind of have to. Oh, okay.
Like, Todd, why is every time I look, the date is open?
Right. What is everybody doing on these days? Everybody just relaxing, getting a free paycheck?
He used to have a full calendar. Now it says nothing. No TV, anything.
No. It's like, wow, what happened? We had a whole roster of fighters. Now we have 5.
They take them some fake list at the old people's home. I'm just dicking with you, Bob.
It's like from like 2014. It's like, oh,
they're all showing them reruns in the room. No, I'm just.
It's one of those like watching. What was it? Is it Rocky? Right when he's like in the dark room, just like watching, or the fuck was it? Roy Jones? I forgot what the hell it was. I was doing that shit, just watching these old fights. Like, yeah, that was. Those were the days.
Tyson used to do that. He had a few videos about breaking down film. Yep. Yes, sir.
Oh, my. All right. Anything else we want to add to this one here before we move on to the next topic?
No, sir.
All right. So you wanted me to add this to this. And of course, before I forget, I wanted to throw it as the very next topic. Mr. Floyd Schofield Sr. going off on somebody. Now, here's the thing. I saw the video. I don't think I understand what the fuck was going on. I don't think from what I read, Devin Haney was the one who kind of like leaked this video.
Yeah, man.
How the hell did he get his hands on it? Like, what the fuck is that about? It looks like it's a recent video, obviously, right? That's what it appears. But let's talk about that because I'm not entirely sure what exactly happened. It just seemed like Floyd Sr. or Schofield in particular loses his shit on his wife or his girlfriend or something, and basically fucking like, comes down on her hard. We'll talk about Devin and everything later. But anyway, what the hell was that about? What the fuck was that?
Well, what I seen on the video is, I believe you're right. It's some kind of girlfriend or wife of Schofield Sr. that he's assaulting. And then I believe the young woman or lady has a panic attack where she can't breathe. She's panicking. And he then proceeds to smack her around again to snap her out of. Because, whenever someone gets in a panic attack, you always want to respond with more violence, right? Like, if violence put them in a panic attack, nothing else you do but shake them a little bit more to get them out of the panic attack.
There's no better response than more trauma to the brain that's already, in a very
overload.
Sensitive. Yes. Jeez.
No, dude. Schofield, step away. That was my only message tonight. If your dad doesn't step away, you need to fire him today. It's over for him, and it will be over for you. That is one of the worst domestic videos that have been put out on a boxer or any boxer's team member in a very long time. That man showed no remorse. He showed no resistance. Like I said, he attempted to help violence with more violence. Like, no compassion at all. If I'm anybody, do you want to be in a closed room with him? And how many women reporters do we have walking around these fights nowadays? And he showed no resistance. No, resistance not the right word. What's the word I'm looking for? He showed no, he wasn't able to withhold himself. Do you understand?
No control, no self-control.
No self-control. There you go. He didn't know where he was stepped over the fucking line, dude. Like, bro, she's panicking. She can't breathe. And you throw her back down?
Yeah, he was like seeing red the whole fucking time. Like, yes. He must have lost it. Like, it's one of those like out-of-body experiences or something, because the second he fucking loses it, dude, he blows the fucking gasket hard and just goes off. I'm looking at the video. tossing her around like that. The clip here that I saw is like captioned with Devin Haney saying, I don't want to talk about what your BM or I guess what that means,
Baby
baby
mama.
mom was doing because you already beat her for it. Okay. And guess where I got this video from? Kid Austin himself, allegedly. So according to Devin, at least, he's saying that Floyd Jr. Floyd Schofield Jr. Was the one that provided him with the video. What was the point of that? Like that's a little sketch.
The Haney's really fucked up if Schofield gave him this video out of like not out of seeking help, but out of maybe, can you understand where I'm at in life? Right? Maybe he was reaching out in that way. And you guys, I have no evidence of it. I'm just saying it's weird that Junior would send a video out like this to a rival unless he was doing it under good intent. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't want it to come out publicly. Look, I heard the Schofields are responding with the lawyer. Right? Did you hear about that one? That they're going to respond with
yeah. Let me read this real quick because I found it right here. It just said, so Devin Haney releases graphic footage on Floyd Schofield Sr. in an incident with his significant other. Schofield Sr. responds at the end of the video and says a lawsuit is coming for the Haneys. They will be hearing from his attorneys. So yeah, they definitely are going to be taking legal action and like ASAP.
I don't know what legal action you can take. They didn't say anything. Your actions are what people are judging, not what they said.
Yeah, like what can it be? Like I mean, I'm trying to think of what possible grounds that they have or what case they can make for themselves to be like, oh, that's our footage and you shouldn't have it. Like,
right.
Really, that's it, fool? Like, you're fucking committing a crime here, and that's what you're concerned about is that, like, oh shit, it got out. That
you might want to buy a self-defense lawyer.
Right.
The judge is gonna tell him, I think you looked up the wrong lawyer, sir.
Right. It's like you're here claiming he stole your property. Is that really what we're gonna do here? Is that right? I have 12 pounds of a little lower. I didn't quite hear that, Andrew. One more time.
So say when they go into the courtroom and say they had more drug money than what they put on file, or more drugs than what they put on, the judge always looks at them and go, really? That's your argument? Yes, the cops stole some drugs from you. Let's go ahead and add that onto his charge.
Yeah, let's tack it on there more. If this doesn't, I mean, I don't know what will come of this, but I have to assume that Floyd Schofield Sr. is going to be facing some fucking serious time for this shit. Maybe that kind of gives Floyd Jr. some time away from his pops to be like, all right, let me go in this direction. Let me maybe clear my head a little bit and have his own, I don't know, control his career a little bit more without his dad in the picture, at least for the time being, because of what he did.
There's nothing else that can happen. Bro, that video, like I said, is one of the worst videos we've had out in a while, because how he throws her down again while you can clearly hear the lady's having a panic attack. He needs to step aside. He needs to shut down his social media. This is all for his son, but it's time for you to disconnect. Go away for a while. You aren't the reason why your son's there. Your son's now a grown man. It's time for him to spread his wings and fly out the nest. But your time as a father is done.
Okay, so I was at the end of the video, and I didn't catch this until later on. At the end of the video, there's like a screenshot of like what seems to be like maybe an Instagram conversation, and what appears to be, and it looks like, well, I'm not sure who's answering. This looks like a screenshot from Floyd Schofield Jr.'s conversation, sending the video to Devin. And then Devin says that what I said earlier about the alleged, right? So it says, Devin, expect our attorney to contact you tomorrow. We are suing you for invasion of privacy. Have a good night. That's what it says. And then Devin responds with, shut the fuck up, bitch. All right. So I guess that's what it is. And I guess we got our answer at the very end. There was a brief screenshot of it. So he's going to try to go take him to court and be like, yo, invasion of privacy. You know, that video doesn't belong to him.
The Devin Haney would have had to have broken. They would have to have proof of him stealing that footage. If he bought that off of one of their security guard or team members, Well, then the lawsuit's on the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see that lawsuit to me is bunk. That's just them trying to fucking cover up. They're like, here, don't look at the video. Look at this lawsuit we're about to put out. You get what I'm saying? Like, that was the only thing they could respond with was, hey, let's tell them we're going to sue them. Maybe they'll take it down. But if the Haneys have a lawyer, what lawsuit? We bought this off of the street. I didn't even know it was you until I looked at it or something. You know, they could say anything, but they don't have any proof that they went in and invaded. Did they put the camera in the room? Did they hack the computer and take the footage? That's the only way I would see invading of privacy. Motherfucker, he's reporting a crime.
Yeah. And if you watch the video, does it look like Floyd Jr. comes out in this and he's like walking around and shit? Like, what the fuck's going on?
No,
And then,
I didn't see that.
Watch the video.
Wow.
I'm gonna see if I can send it to you. But it almost, and I can't tell if it's him or not. So I don't know if it is him or not. But it just, the way it looked, I was like, oh shit, because I watched it again. I watched it to the very end, right? And then when I noticed that there was somebody else in the room, I was like, oh, I had to like look closely, and it does kind of resemble, Floyd Schofield Jr. So I'm gonna send it to you, but it's at the very end. It looks like after Senior throws this woman to the ground, out comes somebody else, and I have to assume that's Floyd Jr. on there.
You know, I cut myself off saying his father trainer time is over. Maybe I was right when I said his father time is over. Look, if that's what you're teaching your son and damn near in his 20s, how good of an example are you? Like that video, it's all bad if that's little Schofield Jr. in the background and he's watching his dad act like that. That is all bad.
Yeah. And
if he was under 18, protective custody services would be involved, correct? Like, that's how bad that video is.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think? Do you think Floyd Schofield Jr. would be in trouble at all for him to like just not do anything, or maybe this was him doing something and sending it to Devin, probably in error? Probably should have gone to the authorities in that case. But point is, he reached out to, or at least that's what it looks like, according to what Devin is saying in that screenshot. Allegedly came from, Kid Austin himself. But I don't know. Do you think Floyd Schofield Jr. would be in trouble to any degree? Be like, I did nothing about it.
I'm a little confused. So you're saying Devin did say that Schofield Jr. sent him the video and not just the text of "I'm gonna sue you," correct?
Right, because it looks like it's one whole ass or like one big screenshot, right? I mean, I'm gonna forward it to the very end of the video so I can look at it. But it looks like, because at the very top it shows that, or it appears as though it is Schofield Jr.'s Instagram messaging. You know what you and I message one another, right?
Yep.
And that's what it says. It says kid_Austin1. So I assume that's him, right? And then it has this conversation going on, but it looks as though it's Schofield Jr.'s account, but in response to the video, it appears as though it's the same account, but I have to assume it's not Junior in this case, but rather Senior.
Yeah, I'm thinking if Schofield Jr. is in there, I'm thinking the Haneys got possession of this video in another way, and that's just him maybe taking a photo and going, hey, I'm suing you guys because you released this fucking video of us. That's what I'm going to say, because it just seems dumb that he would damn near set himself up, right? Like, hey, look, my dad's whooping her. I'm in the background. Oh, fuck, did you guys release that? Like, what the fuck?
Or maybe they share an account. Like maybe like his pops and him share an account, right? And they're like, this is kind of our business account. And maybe his dad responds to some of the messages or something like that sometimes. Like he gets to see.
Either way, my advice to Schofield Jr. and to Senior needs to man up and disconnect himself from his son tonight. The video is bad. It's that bad. You're not going to get around this. You're not going to get over this. Nobody's going to look past it. And if Schofield Jr. is in the background doing nothing, he better hope everyone gives him a mercy conclusion, right? Like, oh, he was just fucking there because of his dad or some shit, because it's not a good look what the father was doing. The way he's yelling at her, the way he shoves her to the ground, the way she is pleading with him to leave her alone, and then the panic attack kicks in, and then he tosses her fucking again. Nothing no father wants to see a daughter go through. He's immediately got a target on his back with every real man in the world. Disconnect yourself from your son. You need a vacation for about 2 years. You need some anger management. You need a big turnaround before you're let back under the light. And shame on anyone that would look past that video. And to be honest with you, Miguel, you really never get past these videos. All the men that get caught in these videos that are this graphic and this, you can't beat it, right? You can't go, oh, was that him? I don't know. It doesn't look like him.
Like you can't dispute it.
You can't dispute it. They rarely get, oh, wait, Dana White. No, I'm just playing with
you did say rarely, so maybe he's one of these.
Yeah, yes. Call Dana.
Right. Like Dana, what lawyer did you get? Because I'm
Schofield, I immediately go, well, she hit me first. You guys know that, right?
You didn't get the whole video. You guys, there was some instigating in the hockey players get 2 minutes in the penalty box for instigating, guys. I'm just saying most men don't get past this kind of video. Right. And he is most likely going to be one of those most men because he's not exactly an elite guy who can probably pay himself out of this shit or something, right? I'm sure he can get himself some decent lawyers, but that's as far as it goes. Right. But anyway, I wanted to toss that in there before we move on to the next topic because it's like, man, that shit is, that's terrible. What a bad look. Fuck, man, what a bad look. It's like, on top of the fact that Schofield has pulled out of a couple of fights a few times already. It's like, man, these are something else. These people are something else. Yep. Okay, so let me see here where we at. This one is kind of man. We talked about it a little bit with Oscar and Virgil and the possible Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas going-ons of championship belts. This one is kind of a crazy one. So I sent Andrew. I sent you I believe it was a text, right? I might have been Facebook. I forget which one it was. In regards to a post that I saw about the WBC wanting to stick their damn nose into Zurdo Ramirez and David Benavidez' fight that they have no business doing, mind you. The unified champ is Zurdo Ramirez. He is a WBA and WBO champ, if I believe those are the correct belts, but not the WBC. So somehow they decided to toss in there. Let me go back to the post that I sent you because I'm sure it's in here somewhere. But apparently, while I look for this post here, it looks as though WBA and WBO decided, or they're possibly going to decide to not sanction that fight as a unified championship fight because of the WBC's involvement. Now, when you and I were talking about it briefly, and I'm looking for the conversation here as I talk, I thought at least that I think some of these fighters are giving these championship belts a little too much fucking credit. I think they're looking at the legacy of these championship belts, and a lot of these guys are saying, "Man, when I was a kid, I want to grow up and hold that green belt, hold that green belt." I don't think these belts mean what they used to anymore. We're seeing it more clearly with the Ring magazine, right? Every fucking time something pops up, Oscar comes up in his Clapback Thursday saying, "Yo, the Ring magazine ain't what it used to be anymore. It's shit now, yada yada." Maybe the other belts are too. Now they are doing what they can to be as as have as much integrity as possible. We're seeing it most recently with the IBF and not sanctioning the Opataya fight. But now we're seeing this. Somehow the WBC decided to stick their fucking nose into that fight and saying, "All right, we're gonna put a belt up for you guys." And once I find it here, I'll be able to read it off for you guys. But the WBO and WBA says, "You know what? If that's how it's gonna be, fuck it, we ain't sanctioning it." When you and I were talking about it, you asked me a question. You said, "Well, whose fault is this?" Do us a favor, Andrew. Go ahead and answer that question for us, please.
First off, is your name Max Kellerman?
It's not.
All right.
It's not. It's Miguel Kellerman. No,
what do you mean our belts don't mean anything? No, listen. The belts mean something. We've been arguing that since the Terrence Crawford Canelo fight. We've seen fighters crying over these belts. We've seen Ryan Garcia jumping up and down when he won his WBC belt. They mean something. What doesn't mean anything are the fake belts. And to be honest with you, it seems like it's only the WBC that puts out a fucking title for every fight that is made. Jose Suleiman has either an interim belt, world Mauricio, excuse me. It has some kind of belt to put onto this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, the WBC needs to stop. Yeah. And I'm with you on that. But then it clicked in my head. Are there sanctioning fees for these special belts? And if they are, why the fuck are fighters paying those fees? It's not a real belt. So unless Mauricio, Jesus. Mauricio,
we've been saying Jose for the longest time. He's been around, or was around for the longest time. It's hard to switch it up.
Yeah, but his son's been there for a minute. Mauricio, rest in peace to his father, needs to stop, dude, with giving these titles for free, because it does give the impression that his title's number one and the titles that you're currently have online are nothing. So what I heard, Miguel, is that the WBA and WBO declined. Not that they weren't going to sanction the fight or be a part or strip the guys. They declined the participation of the WBC in the fight because they don't have a champion. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I read was what they are arguing. Not that they're threatening to pull themselves out, but I guess it was their vote that would allow the WBC to be a part of it, and they said no to it. So they declined the WBC is how I read that. I have no problem with that. And to be honest with you, I think I believe that the other titles should just put that into their rules now. There will be no token belts for when you're going up unifying or defending my belt. As soon as that gets put in there, then guess what? We're not going to have these token fucking belts anymore.
Yeah, I was able to find a conversation, so let me go ahead and bring this up here. The winner of the fight between David Benavidez and Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez will take home the commemorative, mind you. So that I have to assume that's just a trophy.
Okay,
no sanctioning fees by any stretch. I can't pronounce it. Toyan something belt. I'm sure it's some sort of tribe. Benavidez as the WBC light heavyweight champ. Light heavyweight, not cruiserweight, has sought and been granted permission to challenge Zurdo's WBA and WBO cruiserweight titles. For the first time, two fighters of Mexican heritage will fight for the cruiserweight crown. To mark the occasion, the WBC has created a special commemorative belt dedicated to the state of Hidalgo and designed by Imperio de Metal. So it's commemorative, right? I was able to find an article on Boxing Scene saying this was, I believe, from, let's see here, the 12th, so a few days ago. The WBO and WBA are prepared, they have not, but they're prepared to withdraw their sanctioning of the May 2nd Unified Cruiserweight Championship between Benavidez and Ramirez due to the unexpected involvement in the fight by the WBC. Boxing Scene learned Thursday. The Mexico-based WBC this week summoned two-division champion Ramirez and Benavidez to Mexico. So he had them come down to Mexico for a ceremony unveiling a special new belt, which I cannot pronounce, for the Cinco de Mayo weekend winner in Las Vegas. That event, according to boxing officials, prompted a conversation between WBO President Gustavo Oliveira and WBA President Gilberto Mendoza. Although the unbeaten Benavidez wears a WBC belt, his cruiserweight pursuits will not be for those belts, of course. And it goes on to say a bunch of other shit. But the fact that the belt isn't on the WBC belt isn't on the line is where WBA and WBO are saying, no, yo, get the fuck out of here. Now, Is it too late? Is Mauricio kind of already squeezed himself in there and be like, all right, fine, next time no belt, but this time you guys get it, because apparently it's the first time that we have two fighters of Mexican lineage or Mexican descent, with Benavidez being Mexican American, fighting for the cruiserweight championship, for the unified cruiserweight championship. So WBC and Mauricio decided to make it make a commemorative belt for that. I don't know. Are we still gonna get this? I'm hoping that.
No,
yeah.
I'm so tired of the woke shit. Can we get tired? Can we get an end to all this? It's the first time a woman. It's the first time a African American. It's the first time a Mexican. Dude, Benavidez is not Mexican descent. He's half. So you're gonna make a belt for the other half of the shit that he is?
Is there one for Arizona and Arizona WBC belt?
No, but he's also like, isn't he another Latin?
Is he? Oh,
yeah.
Let's find out. Let's find out.
Mexican. I believe they're half Mexican and half something else. So it's like, dude, when's the bullshit stop already? Oh, it's the first two Mexicans to fight at light heavyweight. Who the fuck cares? Seriously. It's 2026. Everybody, hey, we've all done our blood tests. Ain't no one 100% anything, Jose. Mauricio.
There you go.
That one got muted out. Sorry, you guys. I didn't mean to cuss that out.
That's all right. But Jose needs to listen to us too from up there. He needs to hear this. He needs to see what the fuck his kid is doing.
Yes, exactly. I don't think his dad.
I got it. You're right. Yeah. Benavidez was born to a Mexican father and an Ecuadorian mother.
There you go, bro. There you go. So can we stop with the freaking, he's got Ecuadorian or Indian too. I'm sure there's Ecuadorians over there like, what the fuck, dude? We have fucking stories of doing something. We took on a big lizard one time. No, I'm just fucking playing out. I'm just playing. I'm a dick tonight.
Like, we killed all the dragons. That's why they're not even here anymore. But yeah, no, I don't
know if any other wars they won. That's
I don't know. Was there a tribe? Was there some sort of like super barbaric tribe that is in Ecuador? I don't know. I've yet to. Are there even Ecuadorian boxers? Like, are there any other like big time? I'm thinking of other people I could think of. Any boxers? None of them are coming to mind at the moment.
No,
but, no, right?
No.
So Salvadorian, Argentine, everything else. All right.
Yeah, but either you know where I'm going with that. You know what I mean? Like, let's just stop with the woke stuff. And look, I hella hope they do not. They're gonna fucking put a big rift in the cruiserweight division if they strip this thing. They're not stripping it, right? They're gonna move on with the unification.
Well, according to this, they're considering it, so they're prepared to.
I don't know why I didn't read that.
They're prepared to pull the plug, to pull the sanctioning of that fight due to the involvement. Now, I wish they let this one slide. Just let this one slide. Give them the goddamn fake belt, whatever. But next time, now at the very least, there can be some sort of precedent. Now WBO and WBA can say, all right, Mauricio, no more of that shit, homie. Like, no more, okay? Like, all right, cool. Now I've educated you in the process. I'll let this one slide, because obviously he's gonna keep doing it if nobody ever puts his fucking foot down in it, right? I mean, understandably so. He's gonna continue to start making these fucking belts for shits and giggles, for Canelo and now these guys. So it's maybe at the very least. Next time, none of that. That sounds more reasonable, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
I had to look this up. Ecuador is a home to a diverse indigenous population with 14 nationalities and 18 distinct groups. Highland Quichua, Shuar, some other ones, Waraini. I'm trying to pronounce all these. These are all Indian tribes from Ecuador. I have heard of none of them, but nonetheless, is WBO and WBA kind of being a little petty with this, Andrew? Are they kind of like taking their ball and going home saying, "Oh, fuck this, we don't want to play with the WBC"? Obviously this is not a legitimate belt. I don't see the harm in it. Clearly it's too much at this point. I get that it's unnecessary, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But I don't see the harm in it. I don't see in them, being like, to get to the point where they're so butt hurt that they're like, all right, no, fuck this. Even though it's not the real WBC belt, even though it's nothing, it's just basically a trophy, we're gonna threatened to remove sanctioning? Are they being kind of petty?
Unfortunately, I can't agree with that report because I didn't read that.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I read that they actually have the say, and if it could be involved, and they're voting against no, it cannot be involved. But that's what and to me that makes way more sense. Like, would the Miguel, it would be more sense. Huh?
What you said makes more sense. Like them being able to, or what?
Oh yes. I'm sorry. For them to be able to decline it.
Okay.
It would be absurd for them to go, you know what? Fuck it. We just don't want champions now. Go ahead and take the whole parade. Now it's just the WBC party? Well, they are number one then. They totally dictated the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes. Because if they do take their ball and go home, well, whose ball is going to stay there? The WBC ball.
Mauricio's dancing in the background.
It's like, it worked. It's like the plan worked. Fucking pussies. That's why we're the best. That's why we're the best. We came to the basketball court and they fucking booked it.
Yes, bro. And Andy's brought the ball. Here, you guys play with our ball. Fuck those guys.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
So you don't want to do that. You want to stand your ground. And basically, maybe if the belt is there, do what Zuffa did. Take a page out of Zuffa's playbook, put it in the background, put your belts up front. You know what I mean? Put the WBC guy over in the corner. Have Suleiman sitting behind the ring post again. You know, all pissed off. So maybe do something like that to him. You know, to show him.
Have Suleiman hold on to like the big ass boom mic, like holding on to the microphone from where the fuck out of here. Why not?
Yeah, we'll only let you participate if you hold the flag during the national anthem. You're the flag guy.
Yeah. Wave the flag. Go ahead. That's your rule in the fucking corners.
So that's what I'm hoping that they do not pull the plug. Maybe that's more of what I'm hoping is that they stay involved in this and keep it, because you don't have two vacant titles. Then Opatai really is the leader of that division. Right.
Yeah. Oh man. Do you think if we go down that rabbit hole, you think that would happen? You think like, okay, if we're gonna pull the belts from this, well, who's the next guy in line? Opatai. So the next time Opatai fights, he gets the belts and boom, he's the undisputed champ. Or
he's fighting lesser opponents. He's not fighting.
What's I'm saying? He's fighting lesser. Yeah, that's what I mean. He's fighting lesser opponents for those vacant belts that now become vacant because of this bullshit.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen. I know that this fight is a big deal. You know, they're going to do it on Cinco de Mayo weekend, right? And I believe it's going to be here. I'm gonna take a look at the odds and see how the odds are on that one, because me and my pops are convinced that it's not going to be such an easy fight for Benavidez. But I certainly hope that they don't go that direction and decide to just fucking pull out, because that would just leave him there. I mean, God, and fucking Mauricio, Jesus Christ. I would say, let it happen this time. Just let it happen. Next time around, give them the fucking warning. Be like, yo, no more of that. All right, we let that one slide because we've had enough of your shit. We didn't think you're going to come out of left field with one of your gas belts again and try this, which he's done many, many times already. But I would be down.
Or an extra sanctioning fee to the fighter. I'm being dead serious. Put it in the rules that if a fighter comes up out of a division, wants to bring a token title with them, because that's really what's happening here. They're using David Benavidez's WBC connection to throw it into this one. Tell him he has to pay a sanctioning fee for the free title that's coming with it. Only him, not the guy that's already their champion.
So what do you think that will?
David Benavidez would call Mauricio and go, "Hey, go ahead and leave that shit at home. I'm not paying you freaking, $70,000. Now I won't think it'll be $300,000. It'll probably be the lesser $70,000 for some fucking jewels and a belt. You know what I mean? And then who came out the other day and said the shit was all fake? Did you hear that? What fighter came out? They said the belt was fading and the diamonds weren't real. Yeah, bro. You didn't hear that? Ah, fuck.
No.
Hopefully,
I wouldn't be surprised. That's not shocking by any stretch, but I have not heard that. No.
Hopefully, it wasn't a dream. No, I'm just kidding.
It was last night when you were falling asleep during that Barboza fight. Like, I had a dream.
I said to my wife when she's staring, he's probably thinking of girls. I'm thinking of WBC belts being fake, bro.
It's like you could imagine some guy like painting it with cheapo fucking paint, acrylic paint.
Yeah,
Like
that's
what?
what someone said,
Your,
man.
your, your wife is gonna turn over and look at you, be like, "Why is he smiling?" And be like, "You're like, yeah. They're gonna say no. Don't let the WBC in the belt. Don't be the WBC in the fight." That's what you're thinking. In a perfect utopia world of boxing, he's like, "This motherfucker." And then you can turn it around on her whenever she gets mad at you the next day. Be like, "Well, the WBC wouldn't be mad at me or something, right?" You can throw those in there and make things even worse. Uh, but nonetheless, weird drama with these belts here. Hopefully, everything goes through fine, and we get ourselves a good scrap for both those belts that mean something. And hell, Benavidez will call him up, and be like, "Yeah, just mail it to my house. Don't bring it to the ring. Just mail it to my house." That would be a lot better. Anything else you want to add to this topic before we move on to the next one?
Doing good.
All right. So this next one is kind of man. Speaking of Zuffa, because we did happen to bring them up, there has been some what's the word? Some misinformation regarding Zuffa's involvement in Tyson Fury's next fight. Everybody and their mama from TKO and Zuffa saying, yeah, we're promoting this fight. We're the ones putting it together. Well, it seems like the truth is coming out, and maybe that's not the case. Let me go ahead and pull up this screenshot that I took here. Zuffa Boxing will not be the lead promoter in the Fury versus Makhmudov fight. Now, according to that caption, they made it seem that they highlighted the word lead promoter. So it seems as though they're going to be involved to some degree, but maybe not the primary guys running the show. At least that's what it looks like. I'm going to read the rest of the caption here. Despite TKO president Mark Shapiro insisting that Zuffa Boxing will promote Tyson Fury versus, I can't pronounce his first name, Makhmudov, it has now been confirmed that Spencer Brown of Gold Star Promotions will be the lead promoter. Very strange that Zuffa was announced when they clearly had no intentions of promoting this fight, and it's proof that the ongoing war between Turkey and Frank Warren isn't coming to an end anytime soon. All right, so this fight is going to be taking place on Netflix on the 11th of April. It's going to happen in the UK, and from recent reports, it seems as though Zuffa is not going to be the lead promoter. Now, I don't know if you guys look at the banner in the background, if you guys look at some of the press conferences, I don't remember seeing Zuffa logo anywhere there, unless I missed it, but I don't remember seeing that on there. I don't get why they would continue to push this, this blatant lie. I get lying about something like this, like, yeah, we're the ones running the show. But when you can get fact checked in this day and age, it just seems kind of a dumb idea to fucking lie about something this big. Andrew, what do you make of this? Zuffa's not involved, or at least not the lead promoter, despite them saying that they are.
I believe they probably thought they were going to strike a deal with Tyson Fury, and it did not happen or has not happened yet, so they had to step back as being the lead promoter. Has to be the only reason why this happened. I don't know why you would come out saying that you're the lead promoter, then backtrack a few weeks later without it being that you could not. I mean, dude, we seen the rumor Tyson's signing with Zuffa, and then nothing happens, right? And then we see the fight. It got Conor Benn on the undercard. He signed with Zuffa, right? So Tyson's rumored to be with them. The undercard guy just signed with them. Obviously, it looks like they're talking to Tyson and something went wrong. So most likely it was the money. Most likely it's that thing we're talking about how can you pay the undercard $15 million? You're going to pay the main event guy probably $30 million, if not more. You're fucking $45 million in hole and you haven't sold a ticket. The last two fights in that stadium only brought in $8 million at the gate. How much more you think you're going to charge those fans to make up $45 million guaranteed? The math doesn't work. He's overpaying at some point, someone's going to have to sit him down and say, this wasn't the right strategy. I see what you're trying to do, but there's nothing coming back and we're not gaining any momentum. If anything, Zuffa's losing traction and the fucking Ring magazine is losing traction. Everything you invested in is going backwards right now.
Yeah.
The only one signing are the guys that you're overpaying 3 times.
Yeah. I pulled them up just because I'm not familiar with who Gold Star Promotions are. So I pulled up the website. Gold Star Promotions and Events is one of the UK's leading promotion and event management companies, working with a multitude of homegrown and international personalities from Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Floyd Mayweather Jr., and Pele. Pele, like the guy. Gold Star Promotions.
Passed away.
Yeah, years ago. Unless there's another one that I don't know. Is there an English Pele? Promotions provided the highest quality bespoke event services, experience, and passion to companies, brands, and individuals across the globe, establishing itself to be a company that is trusted not only by its clients and partners but celebrities too. Fuck if I know. I've never heard of them. I mean, I don't even think they were on the banner either.
Over. That didn't win me over. What the fuck? That was a terrible fucking introduction for the company. So basically, he has Tyson Fury.
Yeah. These guys, I guess they're. I mean, I kind of look at it like maybe it's not like a long-term thing. It's like sometimes when fights go to what is it called, bids or whatever, right? Like purse bids kind of thing like that, and one promoter happens to win. I assume that something along those lines happen here where they're like, oh yeah, they're the ones that are going to be in charge of the promotion. I don't know, but when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck is this? Spencer Brown of Gold Star Promotions. Okay, cool. I guess somebody I would figure more of a name like Zuffa would be involved, but I guess these guys are going to be the ones. According to them, they have a lot of they've worked with a lot of big time stars and celebrities.
It's Turkey's money that's paying the 2 fighters, anyways. Right. I think he just has the license, right? The promotional license. Sort of PBC vibes, but I'll step back from keep saying that. But I mean, I remember when Al Heyman was using companies too. So whatever. It's they've got a lot of growing pains to do, because I mean, seriously, when are we gonna take the freaking the what do they call it, training wheels off of Zuffa's bike? I mean, I thought Dana has been doing this shit for hella long, runs the fucking combat world. Why when's he gonna take the lead? Stop being co-promoting this and co-promoting that. Still have not seen any numbers. And you know what, Miguel? I think someone hacked into my shit and started feeding me all the WWE and MMA shit that I could stand. But for some reason, bro, the last 2 days, my whole feed has been wrestling and fucking MMA, where I had to start fucking not interested. I don't want to see any more of this shit. I don't know what's going on, but they've been flooding me.
It's WrestleMania season. It's March. WrestleMania is around the corner. It happens. Yeah, it's going to happen on the 16th, 17th of April, something like that. So we're about a month away. They're going to start up, up the fucking promotional, I suppose, the promotion. That's my best guess.
All right. I've been getting a lot of it, and I have not been getting any Zuffa numbers. Where in the fuck are we going to get some Zuffa numbers, dude? Like, I thought this wasn't the UFC anymore. I thought Paramount was going to be a lot more straightforward with what they're doing with this fucking company. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't be good. Miguel, we're on number 5 now. I haven't seen number 2. And they already announced number 5. And you know what? I have no fucking idea who that main event is, bro. Like, if your first 4 events with so-called names were pushing 200 houses and less, what the fuck is number 5 going to be? Even though I'll give Zuffa credit. At my grandmother's birthday party yesterday, 2 family members totally entertained by Zuffa. Oh, yeah, bro. Dude, I can't wait to see him fight again. I'm just, I'm happy, but I'm also sweating at the same time. Biting my tongue.
I was like, you see that shit? You see that was garbage. Listen to fucking Max. What the fuck is that guy talking about?
Nah, but entertained, bro. 2 guys, 2 family members, and they have no problem with what they're seeing. So give Zuffa credit. You got 2 fans. You got 2 guys that are interested in the product that you're putting out there. But yes, dude, I would like to see some fucking numbers. Do you have the two guys that are coming up in a few weeks? Do you have the?
do.
All right, who are they?
So one name, if one name sounds familiar, it's Ederson, if I can pronounce his name, Ederson Garcia. If his name sounds familiar, he did fight on an undercard recently. Let me see if I can find it up real quick. He was on a ring card. Which one was it? This might have been. Oh yeah, I think this was the Inoue fight back in December. He got himself an upset victory on the undercard. He was I believe the underdog, and that is the name. That's the name of the two guys that I'm most familiar with. The other guy, Andres Cortes. No fucking clue. Some of his highlights show he's fought for Top Rank on a couple of Top Rank cards. So I guess he is not like he's a complete unknown because he's fought on some of these cards before. Top Rank in particular, but not too familiar with these guys. And it seems as though this is going to be your main event for April 5th. I believe that should be the next event, right? Because I don't think there's any sort of boxing in the next.
I give you a lot of credit for knowing the undercard of Inoue. But me and you, bro, are two of the biggest boxing fans there are. That's a big all right, when you're saying you don't know them.
Especially to be main eventing your card.
Yes, that's what I was talking about. Because if you're so-called names, your Valenzuelas, your Ajabi, Martins, your who's the guy that fought last time? He was known. Man. The kid that fought last time. Anyways, that won the title, Opatai. Jeez.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Opatai. If all of these so-called names aren't knocking out of the park, there's no way they're coming to tune into this. Like, this totally better come after something that's being watched by many. So yeah, it's I would like to see Zuffa put out those numbers, and I would like Turkey to take the training wheels off of one of the leading promoters in all of the world. The genius who brought the fucking MMA world out from the ground to conquer all. When the fuck are we taking the training wheels off? Because I could have swore that man said the other day, it's hard.
Yeah, expect a lot more resistance.
Yeah, and here we are co-promoting again with some. Don't start cussing. Some man,
some gentleman.
Exactly. Keep it real. Keep it
classy. Cool. Keep it classy.
Yes, keep it classy. Don't we don't even know we're over here Googling this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
But April 5th some fights. What does that land on? Is that I believe it's another Sunday. I think it's another Sunday if I can read my calendar from here. So I don't know. Maybe that's their niche. They're going for Sunday boxing. I don't know. They're like, you know what? Miguel and Andrew record on boxing on Sundays. Let's go ahead and fuck up their schedule. Let's go ahead and cock block those guys and counter program those motherfuckers.
It's a smart programming move as they're getting started because they don't have anything that's going to go heads with boxing, MMA, or football, college. None of their lineups are matching with those other sports. So you almost have to pick a day that's off on other sports. So you are kind of the only thing on TV, right? Believe me, when football kicks back in, they might move that date again.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but there's like football every day. There's Monday night football. There's Thursday night football. There's usually Saturday, Sunday football. So what, Wednesday is the only day they can probably do?
If that's I don't know, but I know they're not going to do fairly well against Sunday night football every week.
Not with names like this. Not with names like these guys, at least.
Yeah. And then you have fantasy football.
Unless there's football on Paramount and sort of like what HBO used to do. After? They leave it, Huh?
That's good. That's a good idea. I don't know what time Paramount football starts, but yes, if Dana could work, if Paramount, Dana's not even involved with that. No, I'm just being real. If Paramount can work it out to where that comes on after football, then that is very smart there. Yep.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, was boxing? All right, I don't know who the fuck these guys are. Let's go ahead and leave it on here.
Yep.
Get some numbers.
All right, man. Go back to the Spence fight on ESPN. 7 million viewers, dude. They were like, wow, this kid is going to be the next star. 7 million views. And then next 3 fights, he doesn't get 1 million. And then they go back, and it was the NBA All-Star game ESPN had on before his fight.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we move on to the next topic of not knowing who the fuck these guys are, anything else you want to add to that before we go on to the last
Nope.
subject here?
Nope.
So this one is it's kind of a fight announcement, and we like to throw it in here because I was riding the hype train hard. I'm not gonna lie. I like to bring up our good buddy Sam Navajero over there in Australia. Tim Tszyu is making a comeback, or I should say, returning to the ring on Saturday, April 4th, to fight, if I can pronounce his name right, Dennis Nurja, Nurja. All right, fighting for the WBO International middleweight title, middleweight. So he is going to be moving up to 160 for this fight here. You know what first came to mind when I saw that? Zuffa, because Zuffa does not have a 154-pound weight class. So I'm thinking, I wonder if in the near future we're going to see Tim Tszyu in the middleweights. I think we talked about it before at some point. Throw him in there with Callum Walsh, their first pay-per-view. Tim Tszyu, Callum Walsh for the Zuffa Boxing Middleweight Championship. Why not? Because I'm sure they're going in that direction. But nonetheless, Tim Tszyu is going to be returning to the ring. This will be, of course, PBC because he is still at PBC. And it is going to be on Amazon Prime Video. It's going to be on regular Amazon. It's not going to be on pay-per-view, which is a change, right? I mean, we essentially PBC's boxing model or programming model is pay-per-view all the fucking time, no matter who's on there. But finally, we're going to get a free card. This is, I think, PBC's second card of the year.
Yeah,
right.
It's their second time doing the free one. Remember?
Yeah, it was.
Tim
and it was
opened.
Tim. Yeah,
we're like,
too. Yeah,
we're like, what a terrible guy to put your whole company behind. You know, I don't know how Al pulled that off. He walked in there and said, "I got this guy from Australia. We're all in." The fuck?
Right. So let me go ahead and read the caption here. Former world champion and an Australian superstar, Tim Tszyu returns to battle undefeated rising contender Dennis Nurja for the vacant WBO International Middleweight title on Saturday, April 4th, live on Prime Video from the Wollongong Entertainment Center in Australia. All right. So I didn't know who this guy was. I had to pull him up, but apparently he is undefeated. I guess 20. Let me go back to this post here, but I think it's 20-0 with 9 KOs. Okay. Not the best knockout to fight ratio, but of course if you're going to put him in there with somebody like Tim Tszyu, who they're trying to rebuild, Tim Tszyu is hell bent on not retiring after these hard defeats that he's experienced and sort of the rut that he kind of finds himself in his career. He's like, no, I'm not giving up, moving up to middleweight, giving that a go. That's not a bad idea right now. I think middleweight is kind of what's the word? It's a little lacking in real talent, in about a week or later this week, Saturday, Carlos Adames, the WBC middleweight champion, is going to be in action. Recently, Johnny Beck got stripped of his belts because he tested positive for being on the juice. So boom, now he's got 2 belts that are fucking free and floating around for Tim Tszyu to come in and swoop on in and take him, and maybe that'll lead him to another big money fight, maybe with Adames or any other middleweight champion. I'm trying to think of who else. Oh, Lara's in there too, right? He's still the WBA champ, I want to say, at middleweight, 43 years old going on at this point. So hey, there are opponents there. Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, Lara is also with PBC, so I'm sure they can make that one. I'm not sure if Adames is or not. Right offhand, I don't remember. But regardless, obviously, he's got people he can fight, right? And not exactly killers like 154 pounds.
They're not killers, but Lara don't miss, and Tszyu don't move his head. And Carlos Adames, when he hits you, he'll put your lights out, and Tszyu don't move his head. So Tszyu has a problem still of not moving his head. He needs to fix that before moving forward in the top 10 of any division. That's my advice to Tszyu. Unfortunately, I've seen him take too many punches, and it doesn't look like he's learning. He just keeps trying.
Yeah. So, and then I thought I saw recently that he did he like switch up his corner or something like that? I want to say I thought I read recently that he like is gonna get re-up his crew or like switch up some people in his corner. I could be wrong. Maybe I could be thinking about another fighter, but I could have sworn I read something like that, which by no stretch is a bad idea. You know, I mean, go ahead. If your corner, your current team has got you to this point, and you're kind of in the rut that you are right now, a fresh blood or fresh perspective, new defense, move your head, kind of thing. Then that's not a bad idea. And I might have to double check that, fact check it, because I could have sworn I vaguely remember reading something like that for Tim Tszyu. I could be wrong, but anyway, yeah, I was gonna say that if I misread that, Tim, if you're listening, which I know you are, Sam Navajero, if you talk to Tim, by all means, let him know he might need a new guy in his corner.
Yeah, if he did, that's only a good thing for him. Maybe he's young enough where he could bring some more defense into his playbook, to help him. But yeah, without him changing it up, I don't see any change in the outcome of these fights as long as he's fighting the top guys in the division. Now, if you give him ranked, 12th rank and below, well, then maybe Tim Tszyu does great and looks great doing it. But I have a feeling when they reach the top 5 of every division, it's going to be the same outcome because he's lacking in a lot of basic fundamentals of boxing.
Well, we're going to see him back in action in April, so maybe a new wrinkle to his game. We'll have to wait and see. But
I also want to throw in there, he should have probably already signed with Zuffa because he's like a guy you don't even know if he wins the warm-up fight sometimes. You know what I mean? So because he's at where he's at right now in his career, it probably would have been best to sign with Zuffa a lot quicker. If I get past this fight and win the WBO, yeah, if that's his goal is to go in with Zuffa, he might want to make that phone call already. Unfortunately, his relationship with Turkey is not a good one. Turkey called him a sparring partner. So he would have to get around Turkey to get into Zuffa, and I just don't know if I think Turkey cancels that as soon as that phone call is made.
Yeah, you don't think he's gonna try to what's the word? He'll work with them, but he might make him like he might make him feel small for coming back.
He would have to because he's gonna pay him a lot of money to be a sparring partner. Tim Tszyu would come in immediately making $300,000 because he would be facing for a title. You know what I'm saying? If he fights the Walsh kid or whatever, and he's supposed to be a sparring partner. That's a big price on a sparring partner. So I think, and Turkey just seems like that guy, once you rub him wrong, I don't know if he actually forgives. I don't know. Just feels like he's the one that's like, I told you would. If I make you nothing, you're nothing.
Maybe he forgives. He doesn't forget.
Yeah.
Maybe a little holds grudges kind of thing,
Yeah.
likes to tell you I told you so and has no problem making sure that he reminds you that he told you so.
I think he will eat a dinner in front of you. I'm serious. I don't think Turkey. Turkey.
What do you mean?
I think Turkey would tell you to come out to dinner and then eat in front of you and not give you shit. Just tell you how it's gonna be, and then go, okay, our meeting's done now. Oh, were you hungry? You should go get something to eat. Yeah, we're done. All right, let's go.
It's like outside in the lobby, we got some nachos if you want to, help yourself.
He just seems like that kind of guy. The whole if I shake your hand with this one, it means I don't like you kind of guy.
Let's not forget that. Let's not.
It means I wipe my ass with you.
Right. It means that's how low I think of you, that I use his hand to shine my shoes.
How many daughters' boyfriends have been like, your dad still shakes my hand with his left? How many times are they like, nope, you're not a part of the circle yet?
No. You're not accepted.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not welcomed with that left-handed shit. Oh my. Okay. Well, let me see here. Anything else I have to add here? No.
I want to say something.
Oh, by all means.
And I know you usually ask me. Sorry for cutting you off.
Clearly, you need to get off your chest. Yes. You didn't even wait until I go. Andrew, go ahead. But by all means, sound off.
It looks like Giza's happening, and I think we need to now take that as that fight might be going on. They've not slowed down posting about it. They're adding fights to it. So very cool if it does go down. It's just a scary situation, but yeah, it was. Did you see the new what is it, commercial they had where the lights are shining. They're kind of showing like the ring, how the ring's going to be placed and all the lights that are glowing off of the pyramids. Thing looks bad as hell if that's how it's going to be. Looks like it's going to be a real visual for the fight fans. But yeah, so I just want to throw that out there that maybe Giza is happening because they're doing commercials out there on it. You know what I'm saying? So not only did they add Bivol to the card, but I seen a little promo about the damn thing this week, and it looked pretty cool. So I'm pretty interested if that thing does go off the way it does.
All right. Does that mean you're changing your stance on that July San Francisco event where they're gonna?
Oh no,
that's still not good. Okay, all right. I mean, it's still some time ago. Maybe we'll see. I mean, some time to come. So maybe we'll see some commercials in June or something. I don't know. But maybe you were just having, turning a new leaf and thought, you know what, they're gonna do this July event in San Francisco and break attendance records. No?
And I don't know, the White House card is going to have a big visual to go up against. Like they might have to rearrange their visual to look cooler than the Giza one if the Giza one goes off first and looks the way that it's saying it's going to look. Yeah, because you're going to have two. Yeah, it's pretty big. I wonder if Turkey was behind the White House one or if that was all Dana and Trump. Because Turkey kind of came out and said he wanted to do Alcatraz, he wanted to do Times Square, now he's doing Giza. I wonder if he's the one that put that into Dana and them about the White House, or that was them originally. But who knows?
Did you hear that? Or I think I sent you that. The UFC plans to make 85,000 tickets free for that UFC White House card. I don't know how the fuck they're going to fit 85,000.
Nah, they're not going to. Nah.
I mean, it seems it says UFC announced on Thursday the company intends to give away 85,000. I thought I read wrong. I thought it said 8,500. No, there's 3 fucking zeros in that bitch. For an outdoor viewing experience at the Ellipse in Washington.
That's right.
In Washington. The fights, which have been dubbed what?
That's going to be 3 blocks away at an arena. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. That's
it's like a minute. This isn't a fight. No, you guys are gonna watch on that big screen. What the fuck, are you stupid?
Yeah, it's like, what am I gonna get to sit in the White House? Like, sir, you have a criminal record. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and we know you have a criminal record. We're gonna put you anywhere near any sort of important.
Gaethje drop out today,
huh?
Did Gaethje drop out? Look, I remembered his name. Give me credit.
Oh, what's the first name? Oh, damn it!
No, Miguel.
Justin
Gaethje.
Justin with the J. Justin Gaethje. But anyway, no, he has not dropped out as of right now. No, and I don't know. Did you see that somewhere? I didn't.
Yeah,
I heard it. Oh yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, Dana already put a replacement in there.
Oh, who is it?
I don't know. I couldn't pronounce his name, but what I seen is they already replaced him.
Damn, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, they're saying a staph infection again. It was the same shit that they did on the last one. Yeah, but it said White House card. Gaethje was dropped from the White House card because of a staph infection on him again. And then it said, and then Dana White announced the name. Yeah, fuck, where was Dana White doing that interview on? Darn it, I thought you would have known. My bad. Did I send it to you? I might have sent it to you. Let me look real fast, dude.
Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Fucking shit.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I mean, as of right now, everything that AI is telling me that he's on there, but haven't heard anything in regards to him pulling out yet. At least 2 days ago. Yeah, I mean, as of right now, I mean, at least this is what it's showing here. Yeah. So as of right now, I don't see it. Let me see. Update 6 days ago.
There it is. Here it is.
Okay.
Justin Gaethje is unfortunately pulled out of his fight with Ilia Topuria in the main event of the White House card due to a staph infection. Now, this is obviously very bad news, but luckily we have a replacement. Renato Moicano will be stepping in on short notice to face Ilia Topuria at UFC White House. Now, this fight is absolutely badass.
Wait, hold on. That's not AI, is it?
I don't know. It's Dana, bro. So, and it's here. I'll send it to you, then you can do it. You can look all that up. I'll go to the thing. Fake news. So much entry from Dana as usual. So one says fake news. The other one are kind of like surprise faces. Anyone who believes this is real should never come back online. Uh-oh. Maybe that's me. It's AI. Fuck you guys if it is AI. I was just trying to give you news, but that's what I seen Dana White say. That's why I sent it to you. But damn, if it is AI, it's sad where the internet's going. Sorry, next time. And we put all our trust into the comment section, though, right? Have you ever seen someone do that? They're like, "Oh no, it's fake, dude," because this guy right just said AI, so AI. They're like, "Wait a minute, that's the comment section."
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I don't. I'll keep my eyes peeled. I think this isn't until what, May? I think it is. I forget when the fuck exactly the card is. But anyway, I will keep my eyes posted.
Is the replacement guy? Is he known? Did you know that name of that replacement guy?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I know he was a replacement once before when he fought Islam for the belt for somebody else. I forgot who else, and he didn't fucking last a minute. He can throw down. He can throw down. I'm not gonna say he can't. He's a fun fighter. He talks a lot of shit, so he would really amp up the fight. He's a Brazilian guy, but no, not that good. He won't last at all with Tuporia.
Sorry, I tried MMA to bring you guys some news. Might have been AI. My bad.
That's all right. You know what? That it warms my heart, Andrew, that you're trying for. I'm gonna do what you do. You're trying for us. You're trying for the MMA community. You make the effort, and that is an olive branch that you are extending, and I take that in gratitude every single day that you do it. So
that's cool.
I will do that. All right. So that's gonna wrap it up. That pretty much wraps up everything we needed to talk about. When more news pops up, I'm sure we will be back with you guys on Wednesday afternoon / evening around the same time. We're gonna get something crack-a-lackin' for you guys, so we can get back to that. And it's not. Oh no, it's not officially fight week. I was gonna say it's fight week for Fundura, but it's not. Hold on, let me see. What am I saying? My calendar. Who do you got? Who's coming up? Damn it! Oh yeah, that's right. I said Carlos Adames, right? Carlos Adames is gonna be fighting this weekend on the DAZN, I believe it is. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up, guys. We appreciate you guys, stopping by on this Sunday evening. And again, thank you, everybody, for allowing us to reach 175 subscribers. By all means, keep adding it on because we love hearing from you guys and we love having you guys listen to us. So until Wednesday, for my co-host, Andrew, don't get it twisted, Lapache, I am Miguel Antonio Barragan, a.k.a. Fight Feed Migs, and this has been the Mad Boxing Show. Thank you once more for joining us. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care and peace.